Are you ready to become an escape-reneur? Well, you are in the right place. Welcome to the Bye Bye 9 to 5 podcast, designed by brilliant women, especially for brilliant women who want to create the life of their dreams by escaping the 9 to 5.
Welcome to Bye Bye 9 to 5 podcast, where we are helping women in all aspects of their lives to live the amazing lives that they really, truly want to live. And I have a super guest here today. I love this person. I've gotten to know her and spend a lot of time with her in one of my favorite groups, and she is an amazing person. So amazing, so talented. Her name is Val Selby, and she has been online working in some capacity since 1999 with various businesses and hobby sites. And she at this point, she feels like she's been taught by the best and learned a lot over the years. And so this is a new chapter of life for her, that she has created dreams for herself that she didn't even know she had. So introducing Miss Val Selby from valselby.com.
Well, thank you. My goodness, what an intro. I don't know. I don't think I'm blushing, but I might be teared up.
It's all true. I mean, Val, I tell you, she has I love this word, such a plethora of skills. Val has, oh my gosh, just an amazing, amazing amount of skills. And Val, would you say all of those skills come from, you've been online doing various businesses since 1999. Would you say all those skills come from that?
Oh, for sure. I mean, if I look back at some of the people that I've met online, I mean, these people are all at the top of their A game.
Wow.
So I learned things like AdSense from the beginning of when AdSense was created.
Wow.
I don't use it, and I have all that information in my head. And that's one of the things too, is to remember you don't have to use everything that you've ever been taught.
That's a good point. Well, Val, I wish I could. There was a movie out like this once where there were people inside the person's head talking, little cartoon characters. I wish I could crawl in your head and just roam around. Nice.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, because then you can maybe pinpoint some of the things that I've forgotten.
That would be nice. Yes. Val, okay. Tell us your story. I know you've got a great one. Go ahead and tell us your story.
Well, my story, and part of what I was telling you when I was kind of writing that little bit of an intro, I love writing those, by the way, because it really takes you back and you get a chance to look at what you have done and what you've realized you've done with it, how you've moved on from it, dealing with it. There was quite a long time where I would say I've been online since the beginning of time, 1999, and then I was kind of embarrassed and I was upset about it, right? Because that's 20 years. Shouldn't I be farther along? And then I look back on it and it's like, well, you know what? There were a lot of times that wasn't my main focus. That, you know, this site made me quite a bit of money and it served its purpose. But then I had family life that came in, or then I decided I want to do something else. So I look back on it now and I just feel like at this point, it's all been learning to get to this point where I'm at right now with the new transition that I did for the site for valselby.com and other things. I just feel like all of that stuff was just like a learning curve. Because my family was my top priority. And that was why I did odd jobs online and I learned different things and I did internships for different people, was because I fit it completely around my family. My family was my job. So knowing that now, it's easy for me to look back and not regret it, not be like, oh gosh, I wish if I'd just kept doing it, I'd be where this person is, and I can name names even in my head. I'd be where this person is, I'd be at this level. And it's like, yeah, but you know what? I've got the life that I want right now. I'm here, and I didn't sacrifice anything of my own to get here.
That's really, really nice.
I guess I did it my way. I just wasn't sure what my way was until I got here.
That's really nice. I like to point out nuggets in the things you say. And Val, one of the big nuggets in there overall, and it's one of the things that it's my dream and my hope for women everywhere to really hear that. And you said it so well, that your priority at the time was family. And you made a conscious decision to make that priority, and there was nothing wrong with that, nothing at all. But it didn't help you, or it didn't cause you to abandon your dreams. You still had those dreams, and hey, here you are now, and you're putting all those, and you're still a young woman, putting all those pieces together and living your dream. And that's what's so amazing. And I think a lot of times women forget that, and they think, oh, I had my shot. I had to sacrifice it for my family, and now it's over.
Right. Yeah. And that is one of the biggest things that I look now, and I was talking about it because with the new program, we've been talking about it a little bit behind the scenes already, and it's like, you had all of this in the 20s. You had your dreams that you wanted to get done, and college and all of that, and 30s was for a lot of people. 30s is all family, taking over everything. But I look at it now, and it's like, well, I still have a lot of those same dreams, but now I have all of this knowledge that I did not have in my 20s, for sure. I had all of the get up and gumption and go, and I thought I knew everything, but now I've got all of this knowledge that a lot of the stuff just becomes so much easier. And then there's the confidence issue too. Because we thought we had confidence in our 20s, right? But over 40, it's like, yeah, I wasn't confident back then.
Yeah. We were pretending to be. We were faking it till we made it.
That's right. Now we can look back and go, oh yeah, I'm confident now. I know who I am, and I don't have a problem being who I am.
That's really, really nice. And great segue into how you talk about this new chapter of your life. And so tell us how this new chapter has led you to valselby.com and what you're doing for other women with this new chapter.
Well, I started, it has been a journey. The last 5 years I've had a website and group coaching and a really active group for firefighter wives. It's still my passion, but it's more of a hobby passion at this time. But I kept finding that even in the Fire Wives group, I was connecting with the women my age. I was connecting with the over 40. And I think that just naturally happens, especially for me. A lot of those new Fire Wives in there are literally the same age as my children. So I'm talking to them, and they don't want to hear what mom has to say. They're going to pull bits and pieces of it, but I've got too much mama in me not to just be like, okay, well, you're not listening to us, kind of thing. So once I really figured out that that was the group I was talking and connecting with, then I went to a workshop, and this just naturally was the transition into, well, if that's who I'm connecting with, why am I not just reaching out to them? Why am I trying to go for this broad spectrum of trying to help too many people and just niche on down to the over 40 women crowd?
Nice.
My favorite.
Very, very nice. There's a great nugget in there, because it was like you were pulled towards your tribe. it just naturally fit, didn't it?
Mm-hmm.
And so you kind of like just listened to your gut and said, this is my peeps and I'm gonna go with
And
it.
it's so important because especially if you are on Facebook a lot, you can look through your groups and see who you're connecting with the most. Look through your messages and see who you're connecting the most. And it's pretty easy to see a target market when you do that, because those people are the ones that are reaching out to you. They will actually reach out if you're in your correct target market.
Yeah, I hope everyone caught that. That is a golden nugget. That's worth money in the bank right there.
Yeah, you got to pay attention. That's the hardest thing.
Yes.
They're
Absolutely.
already reaching out to you, I'm sure.
Yes. So so tell us exactly, what do you do for women over 40? And I'm excited to hear about this workshop that you have going.
Well, I'm creating workshops, and I have what might be coming into being my signature little workshop. This is the second time I'm running the What Do I Want workshop, and it's literally named after what we're going to do. As an empty nester, life changes. Well, I mean everything: empty nest, menopause,
Yes.
families, losing family members, all of that's really happening once we hit into the midlife, and we get lost. We get really lost, especially with the whole empty nest. It's like, I've done this for, I've been mom for 23, maybe more years, right? Now I don't have that same role, and that was my absolute role. Now what? Now what? I never even let myself have those dreams anymore of what was going on. So it came from my journey of trying to figure out what I wanted to do. It came from helping, oh gosh, I've helped so many of the firewives work through it too, that were all in that age, with behind the scenes, telling them different things. Okay, well, asking them certain questions. And like I said, I went through my messenger, and it was pretty easy to just pick up questions that I had been asking everybody and turn it into a workshop.
Yes.
And we are going to baby step through videos in the private group, have access to me in the private group, and I have a workbook that, you're just going to nail it down. It's going to be right in front of your face what you want to do. And I'm excited for some of these women that have no clue where it's going, but they're excited to figure it out right now.
Absolutely. I love the title, What Do I Want? Because I think it's rare that we ever stop as women, because we are, you know how we are. We're always doing so many different things. We're here, we're there, we're everywhere. Although you may be an empty nester, I'm sure you're still very much involved in your child's life. Yeah. So it's like we're just everywhere, and then we never stop. It's like one day we're just there, and we're asking ourselves, I don't know what I want. I want something, but I don't know what I want. What do I want?
Or even the worst is like, is this it?
Yes.
Is this how the next 40 years are going to be? It's like,
yes.
No. Gosh, we're still so young. If I wanted to go back to school, I still could and still have a career.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So there's literally nothing stopping me from doing anything that I want at this point.
Yes, because I read an interesting, what book was it? I can't remember the book, but there was an interesting passage in there, an interesting chapter in that book. It talked about how we have advanced so much as women, but then because we have so many opportunities and choices, it's actually paralyzed us.
Yes.
Because we don't know, what do I do?
Oh yeah, and that is absolutely a huge one. Because there is so many things, I kept thinking, oh, well, I could go back to school because this would be fun. I'd like to do this, and then it's like, oh, or I could go and do this, or, well, heck, we could even start like a brick and mortar business. There's just so many different options, but thinking of all of those options isn't going to bring any happiness at all. And big on making choices because you have complete control of your happiness. And part of the What Do I Want workshop is the fact that we're going to set up a plan at the end to go and get something done. And another huge thing too is the fact that we think once we've got this life purpose that that's got to be our life purpose forever. Yeah. And it can change, or we can go try certain things and figure out that we don't like it and do something else.
Yeah, I love that, Val. You know, a lot of times, because trust me, I've been to so many workshops and conferences, and at the end, you still walk away feeling like, all right, I got all this information. What do I do with it? What I like about your workshop is that you've got a workbook, and then they leave with a plan.
Yeah. Yeah, because I mean, what's the point of having all of these ideas and brainstorming and okay, well, now I can do all of this, right?
Yeah,
now that I have 150 things on my list that I want to get done before, now I'm just going to stand here in a circle and twirl because it's too much, and I don't know how to get it done.
Yes. I
like action.
Very, very nice. So one of the things you talked about on your bio was honest nudging and honest coaching. I mean, I love that because so many times we run into coaching situations where people are speaking into our lives, but they are speaking in a way where they're telling us only what we want to hear. I love that.
And I think that it helps that I'm a sports coach, because you cannot claim that somebody's going to achieve something when you're coaching them in a sport, because the stats don't lie. So I can't be coaching with my kids and tell them, you know, hey, they high jump 4'7", 4'7". I'm not going to tell them that by the end of the season we're going to be jumping 6'3". It's just not going to happen. Right. And I want them to have goals that they're actually going to achieve when I'm coaching. If I just keep telling you, oh, you're doing great, keep doing it, how long are they going to stay around with me, and what kind of a message are they going to tell other people when they don't actually get anything done?
Right. That's a good point. Now, Val, if you had to make a pitch for coaching for someone for a woman who is at that point in their life, what would that pitch sound like?
So for me to bring them in, oh gosh, it's so varied. I do not, I've gone through some workshops where I've written stuff like this down, right? So for example, valselby.com is a call to take your turn for women my age to take their turn. But I'm so personalized when I talk to different people that I'm not really good at pitches.
Gotcha.
Because I do talk to them on that one-on-one level of what's going on for them. I would have to say that the biggest part is anything that I focus on is the fact that they are making choices.
Making choices.
So what choices do they want to keep making? Do you want to keep living the way you are right now and not being happy, or do you want to start taking control and making choices to improve your happiness? Yes. And everything I talk about is geared towards that. Whether sometimes you're just letting life happen, and that was a choice, and that's okay, because at times we need that. But you have to recognize the fact that you're making those choices.
Yes. So when you talk about happiness, in this sense, and being able to do what you want to do, what does that look like? I'll tell you why I asked this question. I was talking to someone just recently, and they said to me, no joke, they said, everyone is tooting the happiness home. the happiness horn. And happiness to
Right.
me is like bullcrap. It's like bullcrap. What
Mhm.
is happiness?
Happiness is you living your best life.
I like that.
Happiness has absolutely nothing to do with me. For you. Yeah, it's living your best life. So for me, it might be the fact that, well, it's snowing. We're about ready to have a little blizzard here in the Seattle area. Snowmageddon is starting. And I just look at it and I'm happy because I don't have to go anywhere. I'm going to get some work done here at home, and then I'm going to be holed up on the couch with Netflix. That makes me happy. I don't have to have grandiose ideas all of the time. Not to say that I don't. I mean, I've got 2 big workshops that I'm going out of town to, and I'm doing speaking at one of them, and that's just bringing me joy and happiness just even thinking about it. So I think I know there are keywords, and I've used happiness for a really long time, and I'm going to keep on using it and grabbing it because I think that the happiness is just dependent on what you want. Nobody can tell you what happiness is.
Right. It's
because your version of happiness is not going to be my version of happiness.
Right. You get to define it. I really feel like it's the joy so deep down inside that only you can experience it at that time,
Yeah.
And you get to define what that looks like. So yeah, happiness I love that word too. That's real for me.
Yeah, I agree. Everybody's got their opinions about different words. But I think that that's part of the reason that I love working with the over 40 crowd also, is because how many times in our 20s and our 30s did we get told certain things and we're just like, oh, okay, and we feel shot down, right? And I'm not saying that I don't get that feeling still, but now I'm quicker to recover and realize that, you know what, that was their opinion and their issue, and I get to still have mine. And in this case, the happiness word, I still love that word.
Me too.
And somebody that doesn't love it, well, they're probably using a different word for that whole thing, but who's to say I might not like their word?
Yeah, totally.
So I think one of the things that helps is just I'm more able to own the fact that we are all going to have different opinions, and it's okay.
Yes,
which is a major thing. I was not always that way. I was a hard-headed my way or the highway for a really long time.
And that's another part of being a part of the over 40 crowd. I am too. And so I think you get to be authentic to yourself with the way you feel, and you can be open to others' opinions. I think it's a maturity level.
Yeah, on the most part. And I know for a lot of reasons why I do connect and love talking to the over 40 and coaching with them more is the aha moments happen maybe a little bit sooner, but the aha moments are definitely bigger. Even if it's over something that's smaller, it can be so life-changing at this point in our life to have some little switch flipped.
Right.
And I mean, you just feel you feel like a huge weight's off your back, because you might have been having that on your back for 15 to 20 years and not even realize it was there. And I'm super addicted to those aha moments. Like, I don't know if I wrote that in that form, but I figured it out, and I am addicted to it. Like, watching those aha moments, or hearing back from somebody after we've coached a little bit and they've got that aha moment that they can even pinpoint is just like, ugh.
Yeah, when you say that, it made me think, because those aha moments bring me like real true moments of happiness.
Mm-hmm.
Because, it's like oh my gosh, and
Yeah.
it really does. It brings you that real, just those seconds of true happiness for something so small. It's like,
Yeah. Happiness and peace, because then all of a sudden
yes,
it's just like, my
yes,
shoulders went down, my shoulders went back and down. I stood up straight, and I'm like, yep,
yes.
yep,
Well,
today's gonna be rocking.
yes, I so love what you're doing. I feel like, one, it's simple. I love simple.
Mm-hmm.
And two, it speaks. If you ladies, you have to go to valselby.com and just read that page. That page just so resonated with me. It was like, oh, she's been peeping into my soul. It just so resonated with me as a woman over 40 and what I've been going through, a part of my journey. And even though, like you mentioned earlier, you talked about the purpose that we find for our lives now does not have to be the purpose forever.
Mm-hmm.
I had found, when I went to her website and read that, although I had already found a purpose for my life, I felt like she was inviting me to find even greater purpose,
Mm-hmm.
or to dig a little deeper. And what other impact can I make? And so that was so refreshing because it's so simple. It's so simple. So I love it.
I was getting hung up on the life purpose. I was talking to somebody about that, and see the happiness. I love the happiness word, but I get hung up on that life purpose phrase, right? And until it was dawning on me that, because I always think of life purpose as you have that one purpose and that is it, right? Well, if I look back on that, then for me, that was probably raising my kids, right?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, can you have any more life-changing thing than the fact that you've got to take care of these human beings? So once I got over the whole, well, why do I think that life purpose has to be just one thing?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know where I got that idea from. And as soon as I let that go, that was so freeing, because guess what, this is gonna be like my life purpose right now, and who knows what other life purpose that could lead into.
Yes, I heard
but you have to be open to it.
You have to be open, because I heard you said you're speaking at an event, so
Mm-hmm.
you never know, your life purpose may be changing already.
Yeah, who knows where it'll be in October when I'm at that event talking. I don't even know what I'm talking about yet.
Absolutely. So that's why it's so important to just be open. And you think, I've met a lot of women, Val, who feel like, I missed that opportunity. I missed that chance, like it's over. And so I think what you're doing is amazing. So you can show women that life moves on. There's still a lot of purpose left and a lot of happiness.
And that's what I was at that point too. And I'm like, well, geez, did I waste it? Should I have been working? You know what I mean? Because there's no perfect answer. Should I have had a career, instead? And it's like, nope, you know what? Let it all go. Let's start from right here and start from scratch. Where do you want to go from now?
Awesome.
That's what I want right now.
Val when does this workshop start, Val?
The workshop starts on the 11th. So it's coming right up. Everything's going to be in the Facebook group, so it's going to be really easy to grab the information. There will be Facebook Lives in bite-sized pieces, is what I like to call them. I like to keep them 15 to 20-ish minutes, especially for those that are still working, so they can come home and they can actually sit down, do the work super quick, and then binge watch Netflix for the rest of the evening.
Smart. Yeah, that's nice. And Val is giving me a coupon to share with my audience to get a discount on this workshop. Please do not sleep on this. Get over to Val's website. I will post the coupon information in the show notes, and you will be able to get a good discount on this, so you can check out this workshop and really get to meet and know Val. You will love her.
Oh, thank you.
Val is also sharing a free gift with my audience. It's her It's a Time to Believe in Yourself ebook and workbook. And I'll post the link for that as well. I love that. It's time to believe in yourself. Very nice.
Goes right along, right into that What Do I Want workshop, doesn't it?
Yes, it does. It does. So yeah, head over and grab that freebie as soon as I post the show notes, and check out Val's workshop that's coming up. And Val, I asked you to share something unusual or funny about you. And one of the things you shared was that, and you mentioned it already, is that you coach a high school track team.
Mm-hmm.
So you get to cheer kids on. Tell us a little bit about your passion for that.
Well, I am a sports nerd. My husband and I were always in sports, and so then had the kids in sports, and then I've even run into other of my sport moms, and all of our kids have graduated, right? And they're just like, "Oh my gosh, I miss it like crazy." And I'm just like, "Well, I miss it so much. I went back to go coach."
I bet you they're like, "Oh my gosh!"
I get to spend 3 straight months with these kids that are just so amazing, and help mold them into, awesome kids that you just run into at the grocery store after school and all that. So sports has been my passion for a really long time, and I'm just super glad that I can do this and give back to the community. But I always like to say it so I'm not the weird lady that's just randomly there at the track meets watching a track meet. Now I get to be the weird coach down on the field helping them.
That's so funny. Yeah, nice. Very, very nice. Yeah, so Val, you gave me a quote here, and I want you to tell me a little bit about this. Well-behaved women seldom make history. I like that.
Mm-hmm. That's been one of my favorites for a really long time, and for various reasons. It's not that I think that you have to go and create havoc, but I've never been the personality where you just kind of sit back. My dad was a big one in telling me that I can't complain about everything if I'm not going to be any help change anything, right?
Oh, yeah.
We come from quite a family of talkers. So he did raise me that, you can't just keep complaining if you're not going to do any changing.
Right.
And I think it just kind of goes with that oh, I lost my train of thought. That you have to be part of the change.
Right. Yeah.
And in being part of any change, no matter if you're quiet or loud, you're going to cause trouble. I mean, there's always going to be people that aren't going to like what you're saying or doing.
Right. Yes, I like that. Well-behaved women seldom make history. Love it. Mm-hmm. Val, thank you so much for being on my show today. I totally appreciate it. Before you leave, because we're about to wrap this up, can you give my audience one thing, one tip, one takeaway that they can use today and put into action immediately?
Well, one big thing that I would love everybody to just recognize. I'd like you to recognize the choices that you are making or not making, own them, and then possibly just let them go. Just own where you are right now and how much you have done, and look back and celebrate on it, because you are where you are.
Very nice. I so love that. In my mind, Val reminds me of, up and coming feminine power leaders. Because a lot of times, we are just stepping into our real feminine power at 40 and above.
Mm-hmm.
We really just didn't know about it back then. We didn't realize how powerful we really were.
And I think that just goes with the fact that we don't really know who we are.
Mm-hmm.
And until we're getting to this age and we're comfortable with who we are, and it's okay that we're different. And I think that that's one of the major things is like when we're younger, we think we have to be, the same as our whole little crowd, right? And now I've just gotten to this point where it's like, no, I don't, because how boring would that be?
Yes.
I like to celebrate everybody being different. And it's like, okay, well, guess what? We can all get along now because you're totally different and I'm going to learn from you and you're going to learn from me. And
yes. Very true. I like that. And Val, do you mind me putting in a quick plug for some of your services?
No, go ahead.
Val, I will tell you, like I told you, she's got a whole bunch of skills, online skills that are valuable for business owners like myself. And so I'm not a very, I believe it or not, I have a background in IT, but I don't like to be very techie. Val is actually very techie, and she is great with content, great with words. And so she's done some services for me in regards to writing a blog post and helping me with my sales page. And what other kinds of services that you do, Val?
Well, my big one right now has been creating bundles for everybody. Everybody's been doing these bundle giveaways, and I love doing those. They're so much fun. But yeah, I love content. I love to talk. And all that I do is I just turn it into talking online.
That is nice. Oh, wow. I can't wait until I acquire that skill. I'm learning it from Val.
But you don't have to. I can just take it off your hands too.
That's right.
You go do the things that make you amazing, and I'll do the things that make me amazing.
There you go. I so love that even more. Thank you so much, Val. I appreciate that. Yes. So do check out valselby.com, and remember that she has got some other amazing, great skills. I will put all of her links in the show notes, and get to know Val. I think you'll be very pleasantly surprised. Thank you, Val, for being here with me today.
Thank you so much. This was so much fun.
All right. You take care. And thank you all for tuning in to Bye Bye 9 to 5 podcast. And I will see you again on the next episode. Bye.
Bye-bye. Thank you.
This episode of the Bye Bye 9 to 5 podcast has ended, but it doesn't stop there. Be sure to subscribe for more strategies and advice to help you move from employee to escapepreneur, to have the kind of success you have always dreamed of without sacrificing family or time. And don't forget to rate and review us so we can continue to bring you the best content possible to motivate and encourage you on this journey. See you on the next episode.